Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is TabbyLoves. I'm Tabitha and I talk to you about the things that I love. Today we are going to be doing a reading vlog. More like, can I finish my April TBR in like 2 weeks? Now, this vlog isn't going to span 2 weeks-ish. That's the word I'm looking for, ish. But basically, I want to see if I can finish all of these books that I had a plan to read this month, and I got so behind. So I have quite a few books that have been on my TBR, and I just haven't gotten to them. And I feel like I should have by this point. And you know what? I blame Your Knife, My Heart. It took me longer to read that book than it should, especially for someone that DNF'd it halfway through. So, because I really didn't want to pick it up, right? And because I didn't want to pick it up, but I had to read it, I just didn't read, and I did other things instead. But we're going to avoid that this time, which is, like, so technically I have other stuff going on too. I have other hobbies that I like to pursue when I get home as well, but I believe I could still at least make a decent dent, even just in this video, to this TBR, right? So anyway, let's get into it. So this is what my TBR is currently looking like, right? I am almost done with Aragon. This is a reread I'm doing with my friend Rachel for one of my buddy read setups that I have. And I am actually, I'm just over halfway. I don't know if this does it justice. I'm like just over halfway. So I have good authority that I could finish this easily within the week, especially because it is I don't want to say children's book. It's like a YA book. The chapters are really short and the font is really big. So even though there is quite a bit of pages left, it's not really that much. And I love Aragon, so you know, I can eat this up all the way. And then on top of that, I had started You Did Nothing Wrong by C.G. Drews. I'm only like a little bit. You can't even see the bookmark. That's how like little bit I'm in here. I've read a few chapters. Absolutely loving it. I think there's part of me that wants to finish Aragon before I fully go full tilt for this one. And this one is less than 300 pages, so I could finish this one very quickly. And that's at least my minimum goal for this vlog, is I want to at least finish Aragon, and You Did Nothing Wrong. Now, the other books that are on my TBR that I want to try to tackle, hopefully in this video, because this video is going to span more or less a week, I have more or less a week to give, because I guess like saying I have 2 weeks is a lie. I had 2 weeks when I thought of this idea, like half a week ago. But I have like basically a full week, a little over a week. So I think if I try really hard, again, could probably do these two, but I also have these 3 books. Now, the problem that's going to pose from doing these 3 is that all of them are thick. All of them are long books. You've got the second Mistborn book, Well of Ascension. Let me just peek in here. Like, look at this. Look at this little door stopper. Let's see. How long is this book? Yeah, it is 785 pages. This usually takes me a week on its own. So the likelihood of me getting through both of these books and this book and this book and this book, very unlikely. So that's why I'm keeping my goals small. Okay. And theoretically, I've been toying around with the idea of doing the rest of the Mistborn as its own reading vlog. So at bare minimum, right, we'll put these aside, bare minimum, I want to read Air of Fire as well before the end of the month. So in this video, main goal, finish these 2. If I could at least start Air of Fire, that would be ideal. And then I can, I don't want to start May necessarily with Mistborn necessarily, because I'm reading, you can see it over there, Dungeon Crawler Carl for my mom's Mother's Day gift because she loves Dungeon Crawler Carl and she wanted me to read it. And I've been putting it on the backbone, but I want to connect with my mom over something that I love, so I'm pushing it up. It will take priority, but I will also be probably finishing this series next month. Okay, now that we have the parameters set, let's get into my first night of reading. It is like 7:40 right now, and I usually go to bed, this is going to sound super lame, I tend to go to bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock. I get up super early for work. I get up at like 5:20 to start getting ready, so going to bed earlier helps me out because I feel like I need the bare minimum of 8 hours of sleep to feel like a functioning human being. I feel like my body technically needs 10 hours, but I can't always do 10 hours because if I did 10 hours of sleep, I would have no time for myself when I got home from work, after like working out and having dinner, you know. So anyway, beside the point, I'm going to try to read for an hour or so before I go to bed. Long story short, I was yapping. It's the next day-ish, maybe the next 2 days. I didn't read it all yesterday because my boyfriend and I, we have gotten sucked into watching Temptation Island. We've just been eating it up. Like, so that's, he came home earlier from work, like he opened instead of closed, and we just watched it all, like we finished the season we were watching, so that's all I did. That's all I did. But I've showered, I have my dinner, which is leftover chicken Alfredo, and I have my book. I am now 332 pages in, and this is a, hold on. Like, I would say like 497-ish. So I have a little over 100 pages. Now, if I try hard, really hard, I could technically finish this tonight. However, I would not finish it in time for me to go to bed, necessarily. So we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see. So, I bet I can make a little chunk in this right now. Right now. So, let's do this. Down to the last 50 pages. So there's our events that I thought happened in book 2 that actually happened in this book, and that was a fun surprise. That's the best part about rereading series, especially if it's been several years since the last time I read them, is that, like, I don't always remember them 100% accurately, so sometimes I'm still surprised, even though I've read through this series twice. The very first time I read this series was in middle school, and I absolutely loved it in middle school too, but I know for a fact that I didn't fully grasp everything that was happening when I read this, when I was, like, that young. Because when I reread it as an adult, like, 10 years later or something like that, I understood way more what was going on and, like, the politics and everything, and there was so much that I had forgot happened, or either, I don't even know if I forgot it happened or it just didn't register in my mind what was going on. But yeah, and now I'm rereading it several years later with my friend who's reading it for the first time, and seeing her reactions to this has also been so much fun. But yeah, anyway, I'm definitely going to be finishing this book today. It took me longer than I thought it would, because it is now Friday, and I'm pretty sure I started this video, like, it was like Tuesday or something, so it has taken me longer to read this book than I thought it would. But I do think You Did Nothing Wrong I'll be able to finish really quickly, even though I'm barely into it, because it's less than 300 pages. So, I might theoretically be able to finish this one this weekend as well. We'll see, though. We'll see. I have a date with my boyfriend today, so I won't be spending all day reading, but I think I can literally finish Aragon before we go out. So, yeah. We had found out recently that Living Spaces, the furniture store, they have a bar in their store, and the drinks are actually relatively cheap. So he's taking me to go get a little tipsy at Living Spaces and look at furniture, and then we're gonna go eat lunch after at like some restaurant. And if you guys are nice, maybe I'll take you with me. Maybe. We'll see. I know this is supposed to be a reading vlog, but a little bit something fun in the middle. Always a joy to reread a series I love. That's why I always keep the books that I like, because I know I'm someone that's going to reread them. And honestly, people that don't reread books, what are you doing? What are you doing? I did accidentally rip the cover a little bit. I don't know if you can tell. But it's fine. It's only the back cover. It's an old copy anyway. It is what it is. But now that I have Aragon finished, I can hop into You Did Nothing Wrong by C.G. Drews and start working on getting this one finished. So yeah, let's go. Next day. It's my last day of my weekend before I get back to work, and that means that this is the day where I'm going to make the most progress with this, and I bet if I try really hard, I could finish this book in one day. I bet I could do it. However, if I do that, then I will not have room to do anything else today. So we'll see. We'll see how far I get. Obviously, we'll keep the reading vlog going. I'll keep updating you guys. Right now, for tracking purposes, I am about 40 pages into this book. And it's just under 300, I believe. Like, literally just under 300. Hold on. Pause. 292. That's how many pages it is. So, I guess let's get to it. It is definitely a little bit of a different vibe than C.G. Drew's other books. But I think it's because it's more of a haunted house kind of book than like a ecological, like, rot kind of horror book. But I'm not hating it. Like, I enjoy a haunted house story, so, you know, I like the fact that it's not so focused on the nature aspects isn't that big of a problem for me. And it's doing some, like, interesting commentary on kind of, like, family life and what it means to be a mother, especially to a mother with an autistic child. And it seems like this book may be starting to go down the route of what if her son might slightly be a serial killer? I don't know. There's just some red flags I'm seeing, but it's hard to tell if it's just because of the son's autism or if there is something deeper going on under there. But yeah. Yeah. reading very much at all. I don't know. I think ever since I tried to read Your Knife, My Heart, and I've struggled with it so much, I'm afraid that it might have thrown me into a slight reading slump. Because, like, I am liking this book. Like, I'm liking the writing, I'm liking the setup, but for some reason, I'm, like, struggling to pick it up. And the only thing I can think is I am in a slight writing slump because of that previous book. It took me forever to read Aragon, and I like Aragon. I've owned Aragon, and I've reread it before. It's taking me forever to read this. Like, I am only, like, 60 pages in. I only read 20 pages today. I wanted to finish this book this weekend, but honestly, it's starting to look like it's not gonna happen. I'm still gonna be reading it throughout this week. It's probably definitely gonna be in the reading wrap-up. Like, I can definitely get it done before the end of April. I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to get, I don't know if you can see it up there, it's right there, Air of Fire. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish it before the end of April, which means I might actually have to put it behind Dungeon Crawler Carl, because that reading Dungeon Crawler Carl is for my mom, so that's gonna end up being a priority. And then that also means I'm going to be behind on my SJM reread for the next ACOTAR release. But that one I'm not too concerned about, because I think I can get through the rest of her books more or less quickly. Like, if I need to read an extra book somewhere along the lines this upcoming months, I can. But this will put my entire April TBR behind. I don't know if there's going to be an April TBR, or a May TBR video is what I mean to say. My May TBR. I don't know if there's going to be a May TBR video where I'm going to be pulling prompts, because I still have a lot of books on my list for next month as well, because I did not get through the books that I wanted to read this month. But you know what? I feel like this is a good thing to show. Like, I say we as in content creators, but I mean, I'm not a full-time content creator by any means or anything like that. But we sometimes don't read as often as we are other times. Sometimes we get into reading slumps and our reading slows down. I couldn't expect my reading to keep up at the level it was all year. Like, I've been enjoying the books, and reading for my physical TBR has been so good for me. But, man, did SJM releasing, or announcing the next ACOTAR book, triggering my SJM reread, has really thrown a wrench in my TBR plans. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I do still have, like, 4 days-ish before the end of April. 5 days, I think it is. But, it's gonna be a busy 5 days. My boyfriend's family is gonna be coming down for his brother's graduation, and so the end of April is gonna be really busy. So I'm just like gonna go ahead and end it here. But if you made it this far, give my video a like, subscribe if you want to see more. I do have more successful reading vlogs than this, and more successful reading sprints than this. And I will be reading new stuff here in the future. May is when I get caught back up on my TBR. This time for real. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.